demonstrate this monologue for my grade 9-10 class before they have to do theirs for their culminating task of an exam. And in it, the character keeps starting to cry, but she says, "I'm not crying, I'm laughing." So I'm not crying, I'm laughing. Thank you for that song. All I wanted was a song. So thank you. It was fun, really fun. As this day approached, I've thought a lot about my career and have come to the conclusion that careers are weird. Choosing to do something forever is a really odd concept. My husband and oldest son are paramedics, so they treat a patient, and at the end of the call, they know that they kept that guy alive, and they can see that they made a difference. My youngest son is a landscaper. He's starting a business, Don's Landscaping. And at the end of the day, he can look at the yard and he can see the happy homeowner, and he knows that he made a difference. I decided to teach when I was 3. Because who doesn't keep the promises they made to themselves when they're 3 years old? And so I started my career here in 1995, and back then we would have the Terry Fox kickoff assembly the first week of school, and Tom Connolly was teaching business upstairs. And we were returning from the assembly, walking up the stairs together, sharing some chat, and he told me that it was his last year here. He was retiring, and that he taught his entire career here at the East in the same classroom. And I thought, wow, I want that. And I was just here for an LTO, and there was no way that it was going to happen, and then it did. Not the same classroom, but I got to stay here at this address for my whole career, and so I was lucky, and I'm grateful, very grateful. And I have some highlights that I'd like to talk about. If ever you get the opportunity to team teach, I really recommend doing that. And I was so fortunate to do that a bunch of times in my career, so I want to thank Anna Cleve, Anna Arenst, Linda Tompkins, Sarah Marsh, and John Munch for sharing expertise with me and allowing me to continue to grow my practice. Teaching can be really isolating, and so those times were really, really rewarding for me. I had the opportunity to work on a lot of shows, Blacklight, comedy fests, plays, musicals, and I think I did about 50, which means I think that I'm keeping up with Nicolas Cage. I hope I did better work. Sorry if you like Nicolas Cage. I had the joy, as Becky mentioned, of running the GSA for 10 years, and they really helped me to grow as a human, and I'm so grateful for that opportunity, and grateful to those who took over the work when I felt like I couldn't do it anymore, and continue to do the really good, really important work, so that's amazing. I've loved teaching drama, and Becky's right, at the beginning of my career, English was my first love, and I didn't think that I wanted to do drama, but it's been such a joy because it's a different relationship with kids. John, where's John? There he is, you're gonna love it so much, because you get to build a whole different relationship and know kids sometimes for 4 years, and you laugh every day. And somewhere in the middle of my career, when things seemed really hard, I decided that my mantra was going to be, it's all about the laugh, and I have looked for that, and I found it every day in drama, so John, enjoy that. I had the joy of teaching LLS. Got it. And building Blacklight shows with Anta. And that was phenomenal. To come up with an idea and have somebody else make it shine for you is incredible. And working with that group of students, they've taught me humility and perseverance and gratitude, and it's been the most rewarding experience, and a path that I never expected my career to take. So,
Not crying, you're laughing.
I'm not crying, I'm laughing. Guys. And teaching IB, as contentious as it is, I've been grateful for that opportunity and thankful to Becky for pushing me into that seat on the bus. She talks about finding the right seat on the bus, and it wasn't what I wanted, but I grew a lot doing that because it taught me about backwards planning, and it made me an infinitely better teacher in the last part of my career. So I'm really grateful, again, to have had that opportunity to grow. And one of the greatest highlights was having my sons here. even for the bumpy moments. Some of you know that they didn't both have their halos on straight. But it was joyful to have them here, and I'm really grateful to all of you for teaching them and coaching them. You really made a difference for my kids, so I'm grateful. Thank you to Becky for providing me, as I said, the right seat on the bus, and for teaching me and endlessly talking shop and always having my back. To Aunt Cleve for team teaching with me and literally lighting up my ideas and my dreams, and for laughing. Oh my God, we laughed so much. I remember one time Aunt suggesting to Becky, when one of the students was crying, he cried a lot, and Becky was concerned, and Aunt said, "Oh, he's fine, just sing to him. Sing him Land of the Silver Bitches." I said, "What's the next line, Aunt?" "Home of the Silver Birch, Home of the Beaver." To Linda Tonkin for team teaching with me in musical theater. That was really hard work, and we got to be creative together, and it was a lot of fun. And she finishes my sentences for me when I get too tired, because musicals are really crazy hard work. To Lisa Dobis for sharing the drama program with me when we amalgamated, and for teaching me that most of the balls go in the gutter before they hit me, because those who know me know that I worry way too much. And Lisa would just say, a lot of those balls are going to go in the gutter before they get to you, so don't worry about it. And she made amalgamation more rewarding and joyful than it was painful, even though they literally bulldozed my classroom, and the years of hard work doing shows to buy the amenities for the program that I built. But somehow she made that all something good. To John Munch, for agreeing to team teach drama with me when there were 45 students in the class. Instead of just taking his share and going, he let me team teach with him, and for graciously allowing me to pass the torch in a way that made it so I could celebrate the end of my career rather than feel sad. I'm grateful. I'd like to mention Dave Clark and his mentorship, Catherine Foy for championing for my career, our current admin, and Jeff Kosnuck, who were the first admin ever to see my potential and make me feel valued. Really grateful. And my husband and my sons and my mom, because they always had my back, and they did all the things so that I could be here doing the things. So, to teach is to do more for people, to do more for more people with less every year. To have the director ask you who you are at your retirement celebration. I'm number 13211, Rita. She seems like a nice lady. It's to work in unair-conditioned spaces where you sweat like a pig in front of the world's biggest critics. It's to live by the bell. It's to hold your bladder heroic amounts of time while managing the bathroom requests of the same 5 students and their young bladders every single day. It's to work with the teens whose parents are so frustrated with them, but who will rip you a new one if you don't think their child is practically perfect in every way. It's to find somewhere else to look when they all have their bits and bobs on display, because the world now says that children should be allowed to be undressed at school. It's a good thing. It's to bear the brunt of the politically stirred public ire all the time. It's to spend inordinate amounts of time marking work with descriptive feedback because someone out there might have a love of learning. And it's to spend inordinate amounts of time proving the rest of the students used AI because, let's face it, they don't all have a love of learning. And at the end of each individual day, teaching is to not be able to look at the living, what is that? At the end of each individual day, to not be able to look at the living patient or the manicured yard and see the difference that you made. But to teach is also to choose to make every kid we come across know they're valued and liked, and see them light up when you ask about their interests in their lives. And it's to share wisdom, not just about our subject matter, which does matter, by the way, but about being good people and to see it land. It's to be creative, to laugh and care about what you do on the daily and what you do and who you do it with. It's to belong to a really cool community of very brave adults who also love working with humans who are in their most awkward and challenging and vulnerable and dynamic and hopeful phase of their lives. It's to build relationships, some of which will last a lifetime. And it's to make a difference over time, one that lasts beyond today or tomorrow and impacts their future. So my advice as I leave, and you all carry the torch forward, some of you for a really long time. It's gonna be great. My advice is to say yes as often as will bring you joy. And when you say yes, enjoy it. My friend Lisa Dobas taught me to see rehearsals as something I get to do, not have to do. And that made all the difference when I was scheduling the very minutes of every day at work. Find balance and take sick days when you sense that coming to school will destroy a relationship. It always will be worth it. Learn to say no. Teaching is hard, and the work never ends. Don't find yourself in a situation where you can't feel like the extra items on your schedule are things you get to do. And remember, you are doing a very hard job that the vast majority of the world did not want to do. What you do matters, and you do make a difference. Thank you for being amazing teachers, colleagues, and friends. You're the backbone of CCI, and you've certainly held me up in my career. Stay fly, CCI. Stones out.